Every who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton, but where to get great prices on gifts, they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and no prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
There is no hood like parenthood. Hi, I'm Kanika Gupta. I'm a former CNN journalist, mom of 3, including twins, and host of That's Total Mom Sense, the podcast. Now, if I had $1 every time I heard, gee, you have your hands full. On my show, I interview change makers on their life lessons, legacy, and superpower of intuition, which I call our Mom Sense and Dad Sense. I've had the privilege of working with Mom 2.0, March of Dimes, and the White House, and have had some pretty amazing parents on my show.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kelly Rowland.
Hi, this is Chelsea Clinton.
It's me, Bobby Brown. Can't wait to share my story.
That's Total Mom Sense is a production of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube so you never miss an episode. To join my tribe, visit that'stotalmomsense.com and follow me on Instagram at Kanika Chadda Gupta. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hi everyone, this is Kanika Chadda Gupta, and you're watching That's Total Mom Sense. Today is a very special day. It's such an auspicious day. It's August 8th, 2024, and it's known as the Lionsgate Portal because it's 888, and it's the sign of infinite abundance, and it's so appropriate and timely that I'm with someone who represents all of that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, her name is Sheila Lirio Marcelo. She is a Filipino-American entrepreneur and pioneer. She founded Care.com. She's taught us to fill our own cups with intention and integrity as we care for our households and families. Now her next venture is Ohai.ai, and it's in the AI space, still very rooted in simplifying our lives. And any industry that she's been a part of, she's left it better than she found it and has filled the gaps. So I'm so excited for her to share her story today. Sheila, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kanika. Such a beautiful name.
Thank you. I want the audience to know how we met because it was in your beautifully zen and idyllic home. And you opened your heart to us, Mom. There was an event hosted by Mothers Untitled, Neha Root, and you did a fireside chat along with her and Allison Reedy Williamson of Makers and Yahoo. So it was wonderful to see all of us gather and have this intimate conversation about lessening the load and taking it easier on ourselves. We needed that. So.
Yes.
I mean, having that be our first encounter, I just knew there's going to be so many memories to come.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So tell us, I guess, about your childhood to begin with. I want to know who this young Sheila was in the Philippines.
Oh. Yeah, so, born and raised Kanika in the Philippines. I always describe it that I had a tiger Asian mom.
Yes.
And then my teddy bear dad. What made the Philippines so unique is one of the few countries around the world where it's got the narrowest gender gap by the World Economic Forum report. And you wouldn't think that a nation country has that because there are all these stereotypes and myths about this model minority or how we think all Asian women are submissive.
Right.
The Philippines is known to have a lot of female leaders. Cory Aquino, who ran the country as a female president, a lot of females in government, but also in business. And so you tend to look up to, and there were many role models in the Philippines. In fact, hanging around Japanese women who worked at the Asian Development Bank would say, we ran into our Filipino colleagues and Filipino women, and they spoke up and they were amazing and they're role models for us.
Yes.
So being raised in a country that had that kind of opportunity to see strong women made all the difference. And then having parents who didn't necessarily stick to specific stereotypes. the fact that my dad didn't mind cooking and nurturing, and he even sometimes ironed my shirt, and he didn't have any ego associated with that, and just really cared for us. Who was an entrepreneur with my mom raising us and 6 kids. And then my mom at 23 had 6 kids.
Wow.
So anytime that I was stressed out or I, would complain about something, my mother would say to me, "You're fine. You're going to be fine." At 23, I had 6 children, and they all turned out okay. Right. So pull yourself together, manage your mental health. This is all very doable.
Yes.
So being raised in a country, and it's also, the Philippines is very well known to be warm and nurturing. And often a word comes up that I hear from friends that just represents family. And so it's super important to me.
What is it?
Yeah. Well, it's that word. It's just that the Filipinos, there's this sense of extended family, caring for each other, being close to your kids, like I am. My parents lived with me for 21 years.
Wow.
And I help care for them. Now my sister and brother care for my parents. So it's a very important part of my life, this sense of having been raised with a strong culture in the Philippines.
Oh, I love that. I have Pinay friends.
Yeah, yes.
And they're the best. I feel like they are so warm and animated and joyful.
Yes, they are. And I love how they call each other ate, which is older sister.
Yes.
Or tita, which is an aunt.
Oh, that's so fun. And, there are similarities in our Indian culture as well. We have specific names for the father's older brother or father's younger brother.
What is it?
So older brother is Taya or Thauji, and then younger brother is Chachaji. So that's how my kids refer to them.
I love India. I grew up with a lot of Desis that I went to in college. I visited India and Pakistan a lot, so love both countries.
That's amazing. I love that. And one thing that really just reigns true in our culture is this multi-generational upbringing.
Yes.
We actually got together with family recently, and we celebrated my father-in-law's 80th birthday. And I thought, wow, he's 80. The youngest child in the room was 1. 79 years of a difference, and the decades that we span and the experiences that we've had, it's just the most amazing magic when you see the older generation and the babies on the floor.
I love intergenerational, not only events, but caring for each other and living together, and obviously inspired me with care.com. But my parents, I think, all told, I think we've added 29 grandkids and great-grandkids now.
Wow.
Altogether, 29.
That's
6
incredible.
From 6 of us.
So right. Wow.
Big family.
Yes, and your parents knew. They actually said, okay, we're going to have you go into this line of work, you go into that line of work, and it's something that's so caricature.
Yes. Well, my parents were entrepreneurs, and most families that I've heard where parents are entrepreneurs, they're always fearful of the ups and downs, financially, and wanting a sense of a stable job.
Right.
And so we had designated professions growing up. There was my sister, who ended up being a dentist. My brother was a doctor. My third brother was an accountant. Fourth, I'm the fifth. I'm going to be a lawyer. My parents said at 3 years old that I was going to be a lawyer. And then my eldest brother and my younger brother, they weren't as strict. My eldest brother was incredible at sports, athletic, and also just incredible at drawing. Really good at art. And then my younger brother was the most jovial person, could light up the room, incredible sense of humor. And so just very loving family. But again, back to your thing, sort of encouraged us to pursue professions to have that stability.
Yes.
And so I was supposed to be the lawyer.
Yes, and then you did get your JD.
I did. I went, my parents really felt like it was going to check a dream for them.
Right.
So I matriculated at Harvard Law School.
Wow.
I had applied from college, from kids. I had kids. And then I decided to hold off for 2 years, got in, because I first worked and then got in. But then after my first year of law, I realized this isn't my calling.
Wow.
And then I applied to business school, and then I ended up doing my JD MBA and then became an entrepreneur.
Look at that. I want to backpedal a little bit because
sure.
Gen Z needs to hear about the adulting that happened. For you, your mom set the stage. She takes the cake.
Yes.
But you too, you had a child.
Yes.
When you were in college.
Yeah. So I met my husband at a party at Yale University.
Nice.
There was this joke around the Seven Sisters and the Women's College and also certain schools, but he had helped found a Filipino organization called Kasama, and then launched the first ever called Filipino Intercollegiate Networking Dialogue, which is FIND.
Oh, nice.
Of course, I tease him. It was like Find a Day.
Yeah.
And I had helped found Liga Filipina in Mount Holyoke. So we got the call to invite us down, and that was the first time I met him. We clearly were into each other, looking at each other that evening. We were with other dates. But the following weekend, Mount Holyoke had the International Food Festival. And so he was the organizer. I called him to actually invite them up.
Right.
Little did I know that he actually didn't tell anybody else in the Filipino organization that he had invited them. And I had set this whole front table, and he sat there, and I said, "Where is everybody else?" He's like, "I just didn't want to be distracted. I just wanted to hang out with you."
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, my goodness.
So fast forward, we dated 3 months only. And
when you know.
And then I got pregnant.
Okay.
Which, I don't know that I knew. I was so young, but
True.
But I did fall in love fast, and so we're going to be married 33 years this year.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations.
Yes, I don't wish it upon, like you said, the young people listening to this. Take your time.
Yes.
Make sure it's the right person in your life.
That's true. That's true. But I think that you got to roll with the punches also, and you did that.
I did go with the flow.
Yes.
It was hard, but I did go with the flow, yeah.
Oh my gosh, tell me what it was like studying for classes and then having your son, was it Ryan?
Ryan.
In nappies.
Hard. I had learned to drive a stick shift in the Philippines.
Okay.
But I had never driven a stick shift in the snow.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Obviously, I had to go learn to do that. I bought a Subaru secondhand car, had to drive him around to daycare. We put him initially in daycare. I was very nervous about that, just because I grew up with nannies, but that was our only choice that we could afford because we were young.
Right.
We also were on WIC. We were getting actual social services helping us because we were students not making a lot of money.
Yes.
And so we wanted help to be able to care for them and to also help us with childcare expenses, which is very difficult for families. So you're going to hear this tone a lot in my own personal experience. And then when daycare was closed, I would have to take Ryan to class.
Oh my gosh.
One
of the carriers.
So I would bring him into the carrier, and I would have to bounce him, and if he cried too much, I'd have to step out of class.
Oh my goodness.
And I had to take notes in the back. So I remember those days were very, very hard and difficult for Ron and I. And then because we got married so quickly and I got pregnant, we were also so young that the first 5 years was just tough, really questioning, are we in the right relationship?
Yeah.
Right? Are we doing the right things? I remember once when Ryan was sick, his fever was so high.
Oh.
I didn't know what to do. And then my mom said, "Oh, you need to cool him down with cool water and
a compress
something." But in those moments, there wasn't the internet back then.
Right. Yes.
Advice, right? So all of those things we had to learn on our own in a very difficult time, which is one of the reasons for me making sure that I focus on things that support parents, because it wasn't easy for us.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I feel like you've just come full circle and now you're paying it forward.
As much as I can.
Yes. What was that eureka moment for you that you thought, you were in the trenches of caregiving, even your father's health was,
later.
Yes, yeah.
Well, it's interesting. The eureka moment actually was before even my father fell ill. Between college and law school, I took a job in a telecom consulting firm where I traveled all around the world to do a project. It was back then Tel Labs, and I had to present something to the executive team around their strategy in different countries around the world. And so in 3 weeks, I visited 6 countries.
Wow.
I got back to Boston in the U.S., and I landed in the hospital due to stress.
Oh my goodness.
And I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and they couldn't figure out what it was. And the stress, when I was in the hospital, realized, I remember looking at the wave and the curtains and trying to find zen in my life and saying, I need to go find peace because this mental health is going to break me.
Yeah.
The lack of it. And so having young kids at home, my husband depending on me, we depended on each other. And I knew at that moment in the hospital, Kanika, that I had to invest in myself.
Yes.
And from there, I started journaling. I started meditating, and quickly realized that my own health was going to impact my family.
Wow.
So I had to invest in that. So that was
Yes.
a pivotal moment for me to really try and find a sense of peace. And also, that's when the journey began to say, you know, I'm ambitious, but when is it that I can answer the question that I'm enough? You know? Did I really have to push myself to do this project and do 6 countries?
Yeah.
Did I want
And Ryan was how old by then?
Oh gosh, at the time I think he was only 2-3 years old.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he's mobile, he's, oh my goodness.
Exactly. And it was a lot to manage. And it's also in our relationship, there was also a lot that I was expecting of my husband.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that because in moments where you're not only trying to solve your mental health, there's an easy thing to go into victimhood.
Yeah.
You know, I often say my life as an entrepreneur is manage chaos because I choose chaos. But I choose chaos.
Right, yeah.
And so when I chose to travel 6 countries, what it does is not only put pressure on myself, it puts pressure on my husband and my family.
Yes.
That I have this certain expectation, but look at me, I'm so busy, you're supposed to be helping me.
Right, yeah.
So we really need to take stock of not only self-awareness of yourself and your capabilities and your limitations, but also the impact that you're having on other people in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. In India, we have this concept of seva, which is kind of service. And
I love it.
yes, and it's when you're caregiving without that expectation of something in return, because you can very easily slip into the why me.
That's right.
And then, you know, why do I have to step up and all of that? I do that a lot. I have to stop. I have to stop. I try to tell my kids, I'm like, it's really hard with the 3 of you, and you guys are so close in age. I have twins, and my younger one is just 18 months younger.
Oh my gosh.
So they're like Irish triplets, if you will.
Oh my gosh.
They're 7, and then the younger one's 6.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm like, this is really, really hard. But I have to slip out of it and say, this is me pouring into them. I'm leaving my imprint. And when tables turn and you think, in my old age, they're going to be doing that for me. At least that's what we're trying to inculcate. So it comes back around, you know, and you should never feel resentful of seva.
Yes, it's a beautiful concept. So much of serving others, of course, starts, as I said, a sense of self-awareness.
Yes.
And I think the more that you love yourself in a weird way, the less you spend a majority of your brain time on you.
Right.
Because
Right.
the sense that I'm good, I'm
Yeah.
cared for, I'm
Yes.
good, I don't have a lot of needs. And when that happens, you free up a majority of your brain to focus on serving others. So I think that's sort of the step of investing in yourself, opening up to others. And then the other thing now that I've been really coaching a lot of people is when you open up that frame, like you said, you're talking to yourself and saying, Serva, like I need to be in the frame that look at all the things that I'm doing for them. I'm not in the victim situation.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing it for them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And this is going to be beneficial to them.
Right.
There's still logic flow there. You're still in your brain. The next step is, how do you unlock that, let it go, and feel that service in your heart? And then when you start to feel it in your heart, like I'm doing now, and you cascade this light, then you expect less.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it really is coming from your heart.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And so then with this aha moment, For care.com. How did that come to be? Where you just thought, okay, I have an idea and I'm going to see it through to be something, so impactful.
Yes. Well, what had happened was, obviously there was Ryan.
Yeah.
And then later in grad school, I had Adam.
Yes.
And in grad school, I had written a business plan called Metro Move.
Okay.
Which was a marketplace helping families find real estate, like the way Zillow is now.
Nice. Oh, wow. You're just an idea machine.
And I
oh,
thought,
wow.
hey, and I remember Linda Applegate, my professor, saying, wow, this is really powerful. You can build this on the internet, really introduced me. I had taken her class, Information Age Building Business.
Okay.
But my last year of the program, I got pregnant.
Okay.
Okay, so don't drink the water in school. I get pregnant in college, I get pregnant in grad school, and I remember graduation being this big pregnant.
Oh.
And Linda and Myra Hart at the time, she was a professor there too, and she had run Staples. They both encouraged me to actually have the baby and then teach at Harvard Business School.
Okay.
So I helped teach 2 courses, Information Age Businesses and Women Building Business.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I'm dating myself because back then it was called Information Age Business, the internet.
Yes.
And Women Building Business is a course I don't think they teach anymore, thankfully.
Oh, interesting.
But back
Okay.
then,
Yes.
there weren't even...
It was so nouveau. Yeah.
Exactly. Of
Yeah.
women in going in and being entrepreneurs.
Right.
But that's really what introduced me to the internet, Kanika. And I decided after teaching for a year, there was a company called You Promise that was just being formed. And it was to help families save money for college.
Oh.
And that was really my first calling that said, wait a minute, I could keep doing this real estate that of course is still helping people, but this helping people save money for college just spoke to me now as a young mom.
Yes.
That it was so mission driven, it was going to be innovative, it's going to build one of the biggest loyalty programs in the country.
Right.
And that's really where I cut my teeth in entrepreneurship, leadership, learning to build in the internet, product management, marketing, had a general management tour of duty, worked with my husband in the same company.
Wow.
I was there for 5 years and I learned so much. And then it also introduced me to incredible mentors.
Yes.
Dave Andre, who worked in technology, who believed in me enough. Even though I had my JD MBA, I didn't have a tech background, took some basic computer science classes. He believed I could lead technology teams.
Yes.
And I learned to do that there.
Wow.
And then Joni Nevins, who was CFO, she and I were the only women on the management team. And I learned so much from her. She spoke up, she overprojected, she spoke with confidence, she taught me about logic. She was like, so powerful.
That is amazing.
As a young in my 20s, to
Yes.
have that privilege
Yes.
of people in my life was just incredible.
Yes. And you're paying it forward now.
Yes,
Absolutely. Oh, I think that's just really incredible. And so what was it like in the early days of being scrappy and building? Oh my goodness.
So let me start with You Promise, and then I'll talk
Yes.
about care.com. So one of the things I learned about You Promise is when my dad fell ill. And that I realized, wait, I could do marketplaces for real estate, but what about a marketplace for parents?
Yes.
Now that I've gotten into the parenting space with You Promise. But what I learned in You Promise when my father fell ill is I had to adjust to my life for flexibility, which was hard in a workplace and environment. And I didn't run You Promise.
Yeah.
And so I always thought to myself, well, when I run my own company and found my own company, how do I want that environment to be for parents?
Right.
Which was important because I remember, and I was such an accountable, young, management team member at 28, 29, that I would get up at 3 or 4 a.m. and work.
Wow.
And go to sleep and leave work early so I can help pick up our son from daycare, our kids, and then go to sleep a little earlier and then be up again just to get work done.
Right.
And that was also really hard. And my husband and I struggled with the drop-off pickup and the flexibility of all of that. And we couldn't afford nannies.
Yes, yeah. And even extended care, if you have that option now,
Right.
it's still...
And so the options back then were Craigslist. And so safety considerations around that. There was the 8.5 by 11 at church that, you ripped off the little ear.
a little number.
Yeah, or the YMCA.
Yeah.
The phone book, which we don't have anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I remember that.
So it dawned on me that I said, well, wait, how do I find affordable care
Yes.
for my family as an executive?
Right.
And then my father fell ill. So that really I started to realize this is a real problem.
Yes.
This is a real pain point.
Yes.
And so many families are experiencing this. But when I started, Kanika, I had a lot of people suggest to me that this wasn't going to work out.
Right.
And given my JD MBA background, I had a friend tell me, like, with all your education experience, why would you start a babysitting company?
Okay. Yeah.
I really had to have not only the confidence, but the real belief that what was really drawing me was something I was so passionate about to solve a problem in the world.
Yes.
So had to be innovative, creative, but also influence a lot of other people to join me.
Yes.
To believe. Because in the early days, they would say to me, how on earth are you going to build this caregiver platform to solve the last mile?
Okay.
And I remember my lead director, Brian Sweetie, who also became an incredible mentor. When he first joined me, he had run Pepsi. He was CMO of Pepsi. He was COO of eBay, believed in this mission and joined me. And I met him at the time at another previous company. I remember the first year he said, listen, this service is going to work if, he had little kids, little boys, if I can find a Manny, which is a male name,
Yeah.
who plays soccer, sports,
Okay.
in Carmel, California.
Right.
And was available after school for my two sons. That was such a specific thing that he asked for.
Yes.
And then I remember the following year, and then we solved it. He said,
Oh my goodness.
this service works.
It works. You did it. It
We did
works.
it. We
It
did
works.
it. Really good.
And I mean, every single profile is so specific and are meeting like every individual family's needs.
That's right. And you get to search it, right?
Yes.
And so back to your question.
Yeah.
How in the early days were we scrappy? I did a podcast with Reid Hoffman on Masters of Scale, and he'd asked me the question, how do you get this cold start problem going?
Right.
In building marketplaces. And I often advise founders to be data-driven. Okay, so we talked about head to heart,
Yep.
right? But being data-driven means you have to have the confidence of all of your ideas to challenge what's in your heart. This is now going back up and saying, okay, does it logically make sense? Let me get my ego out of the way. Is the data prove out that this is doable? And so we created tests in the beginning.
Yes. It's
Right.
will the dog eat the dog food?
That's right. We we're pretty scrappy. We tested on Craigslist both supply and demand and said, look at the top 20 cities to identify, are people going to sign up for a service like this?
Right.
We tested on SEM, created some fake services at the time.
Yep.
Just said, hey, would people sign up for this? And that early data gave us real proof points. And it's the same way we're building Ohai.
Yes.
Is really be data-driven
Yes.
around it, and to not have your ego get in the way that sometimes you might have a thesis
Right.
and it may be wrong.
Yes.
And it's okay as a leader to go back to it and say, let's revisit this and let's do it the right way.
Yes, exactly. And so it was from 2006 to 2012-ish?
2006 to 2014 when we took the company public.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then 2014 to February 2020, and then we sold.
Oh, amazing. And
It's a long
can
time.
you give us that figure? Because it's just
Oh my gosh.
such a whopping...
So, we grew oh, you mean in terms of the exit?
Yeah.
Well, we exited the company at $500 million.
Look at that. That's incredible. And that's how many people believed
Yes.
in this service that you
That's
created.
right. So I think at the time that I left, it was about 20 countries and about 30 million on the platform.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so many corporations,
Yes.
work with them. I was first introduced to care.com when my husband was at Google. He was there for 10 years.
Very first Care at Work
No
client.
way. I love that.
They're
And
amazing.
yes, it was great for me with the 3 little ones under 1.5. Whenever I needed backup care, whenever there was a stomach virus, something, I could call, and within an hour or two, there was someone there and vetted, and it was incredible. And I could get someone on the phone. I'm an old school person like that, so I'm calling the care number and getting it done over the phone.
Yeah, and we realized that the care infrastructure was broken.
Yes.
And so though we had built the platform for direct-to-consumer, what more could families, what kind of services could they get to get additional help, especially low income, and what kinds of benefits. And so we launched Care at Work.
Yes.
Right. I think now CARE calls it Care for Business. And like your Google experience, to the point that Google had such an incredible experience that they ended up investing in us.
Wow.
As a public company. They did a PIPE, an Alphabet. I think we were the only other public company that Alphabet owned other than Google.
Amazing. Amazing. Yes, because they saw how it was just serving so many of their employees. That's amazing. So I want to have you touch on the sandwich generation, and that is the segment of individuals who are raising young children while caring for their ailing parents.
That's right.
And it's something that, I am really in the thick of now. My mom developed dementia 4.5 years ago, and she has something called it's primary progressive lopogenic aphasia, so it affects her speech, and it's just been really heartbreaking because in the past 5 years, as much as I wanted to just call up my mom, let me tell you what Sohana did today, I haven't been able to do that, and I am tending to my kids who are just mom all day long, and this is something that it's a plight that so many parents in this generation are facing, and you went through it too.
That's right.
So
this, generational challenges that we have around what I call the sandwich generation, or you might even call it a panini now.
Yeah, I know, we're like
Because
pressed.
You're pressed.
With the
You're
pressure.
pressed,
Yeah.
And you've got all this like melted cheese of like yourself in the middle, right?
Yeah.
It's like all this. But I often advise we get stuck in so much of what we forget as caregivers is that we've got to care for ourselves. That's why I call it the panini, and this melted cheese in the middle is like we've got to strengthen ourselves and our inner selves and take care of sleep.
Yeah.
Making sure that we have the appropriate respite. Because I think that when it's too much of a cognitive load on you, then you're really not present in the moment for either side of the bread that's sandwiching you.
True.
Right? And you're also not able to read the situation of the nuance that says, my kids need me more right now because they're emotionally challenged, right? Or my mom, how do I solve something for her? Because it doesn't always all have to be on you.
Yes.
But guilt pulls us in both directions. Guilt's not healthy at all.
Right.
It's all mental.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons, and we'll talk about it more, why Ohai. It's because I started to realize so much of what held me back and the challenges I had in my life. When I was selling care.com, I had this pull on my hip, and I couldn't figure it out, and the stress that I was under. My body was telling me something that my mind kept reframing and saying, we're good.
Right.
But the reality was we weren't.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you resolved it?
We did. I've been working on my hip now. It's been like a 4 or 5 year journey, and went to physical therapists, went to acupuncture, and I've told you, my friend Dr. Stephen Lewis actually helped me with pain.
Oh, yes, that's great. I can't wait to meet him. Yes. And you kind of pinpointed what's going to be the problem solving.
Yes.
And said, okay, I'm going to go all in here and not sweep this under the rug anymore.
That's right. And what allows you to free up your mind from the guilt is meditation, which is important, journaling, that's important, and then reaching out to ask for help. That care is about, it takes a village. I know that the phrase is it takes a village to raise a child. I actually think it takes a village to actually care for family in general.
Yes.
And that we cannot do it alone.
We can't. Oh, it's so true. We all need that village, not just the child.
That's right. And then my parents lived with us for 21 years, and my husband and I shouldered a lot of caring for them. And now later on, I reached out to my sister and my brother, and my parents now live with them in Michigan, and they're so much healthier and happier. Not that they weren't happy living with us, but all my mother's symptoms, because both my sister and my brother are in healthcare, they've sorted them out.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm
that's
not
the best.
in medical care.
Yes.
I help them with finances or figuring things out and finding them care to outsource, but their own actual physical care.
Yeah.
my siblings are in the medical field. They've done a great job.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I think it's so wonderful when you have the entire family galvanizing.
That's right.
You know, to
Leaning
help.
in.
Yes.
right.
And this is a cultural thing. I actually had written an essay about this, about how it's important to have multi-generational families and where kids are helping their grandparents and see them all the time. And
That's right.
yeah, it's
And
just...
my kids were raised by my mom and dad.
There you go. There you go.
special.
Yeah. What's imparted and passed down, like, it's just, that's going to be kind of sewed in their memory forever, and how they'll lead
That's
in
right.
their life. It's like the best learning for empathy and compassion.
And how they respect the elderly.
And yes, being filial.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. I wanted to share your pinch me moments because they're so remarkable. I mean, you've been on many, many lists. You were 40 under 40 for the Boston Business Journal and were in the top 10 female entrepreneurs on Fortune. I mean, did you ever think, like, I made this happen? I manifested these accolades into reality.
You know, I tend to, it's interesting, again, it's Lionsgate Day.
Yes,
we
yes,
manifest
yeah.
these things. Two quick stories of my pinchable moments. The first is Ryan, my eldest, was in high school, and he just graduated from high school, and it was a sort of a casual moment in front of the fridge in the kitchen, and I said, it was my guilt kicking in, Kanika, and I said something like, have I been a good mom?
Oh.
You know, and his answer was, well, you know, other moms were around, and you weren't around enough.
Okay.
And certainly it felt like a dagger to the heart. And I understood that because I was hardworking building a company. And then years later, when he was about 22, we took the company public, and there was a post-dinner at a beautiful restaurant, and we had accountants and lawyers, our team, bankers, and celebrating. And there was an open mic that night.
Okay.
And lo and behold, my son stands up and takes the mic and is looking straight at me. He says, I know, Mom, you're really surprised, but I want to relay a story to everybody. Do you remember that question that you asked me by the fridge when we were in high school? And I'm looking at him like, okay, what is he going to say? And he said to the audience, you know, you had asked me if you were a great mom. And he said, I answered you wrong. He's like, from what I saw today, that you have made a difference in millions of lives.
Right.
You are a great mom.
You're a great mom. You're a great mom.
That is a pinchable moment.
Yes.
That was, and I still, when I relay the story, it always brings out the emotion to me, because at the end of the day, it is, you know, that I hope, the pride that I would have is that he is an incredible husband.
Yes.
Right. Or
Husband
partner,
and-
now
yeah.
husband, but partner in his
Yes.
life, to be a great father, to realize, to prioritize family, which that felt good, it kind of hit home for him. And then the second pinchable moment is I received an award from Harvard Business School and I was the youngest recipient.
Wow.
And it was a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh my goodness.
And I was still young. I
Yeah.
was still in my 40s. And so to get a Lifetime Achievement Award felt like, wait, I'm not that old.
I'm just like halfway done, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but what it represented for me as an award, you know, when you go to Harvard Business School and you see all these like incredible buildings and, you know, lots of just successful people.
Yeah.
That they honored me with a company that I built that cared for people.
Yeah.
Meant that I was also impacting their sense of values of what matters in this world.
Yes.
Right?
That validation and acknowledgement.
That's right.
I love that. I ask my kids all the time, like, do you love me? Am I doing a good job? You know? And they're so brutally honest.
They really are.
But it's, yeah, oh my gosh, I love that he shared that with everybody.
He's special.
Yes.
Yeah.
How has motherhood changed you as an individual and even made you a better leader and executive over time?
Wow, I think motherhood has challenged me around my own sort of mental state of am I enough?
Yeah.
To answer that question. Empathy, a sense of love, a sense of what is important. And I think you mentioned this. One of the most important things is they hold the mirror up to you.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. I certainly, so much of what we do is we give, and we're going to go back to serve again. But how do we do that in such a loving way without expectations?
Mm-hmm.
The toughest are kids.
Yeah.
How do you fully let go and say, I gave it my all, did my best, and know you're gonna be good.
Yes. That go out in the world.
Go out in the world, serve the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but yet have to do it without that expectation.
Yes.
And so leadership has a lot to do with that in building companies.
Yeah.
How do you bring your whole self to the table?
Yep.
How do you groom and grow people and feel comfortable to let go
Yes.
and
Yes.
see them soar?
Right.
How do you bring the superpower out in everybody? There's no way that I could have done that without the learning of being a mom.
Oh.
So it's a sense of that you're there for them to advise and coach, but it is their life. Not yours.
Right, right.
And it's
There's
the
a
same in
surrender
leadership.
involved. Yeah.
It's the same thing in leadership.
Yes.
In
Oh
fact,
my gosh.
I often give my management team members a great book called Letting Go by Dr. Hawkins.
Okay. Yes, I've heard of this book.
Yes. It's important to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So parenting teaches you a lot about that in leadership.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's brilliant. And I think even just using your own special way to ignite a spark and inspire is so important.
That's right.
Because I know in one of my past guests, her name is Robin Ward, was on the podcast, and we talked about how motherhood, parenthood is so akin to being a good leader.
That's right.
And she said, if you are just bossing your employees around,
That's right.
no one likes you. Everyone dreads when you
That's right.
come home or are in the boardroom. They're not like intrinsically motivated to succeed.
You haven't inspired them.
You haven't, yes.
No.
And then the other thing is, if you're just saying like, I need you to do this, do this, do this, and now you don't have their buy-in, and I'm talking even like a 2 or 3-year-old.
That's right.
Give them choices.
That's
Say, what do you think?
Right.
We recently asked our kids, like, it's summertime, how much screen time do you think is enough? Set your own timer.
That's right.
Like when you're in college, I'm not going to be like
That's
watching
right.
over you being like too much video game.
right.
So set your own timer. We have one of those crank up.
That's right.
And then when it goes off, you check in with yourself again and say like, okay, it went off. Am I still playing? And then stop, because I'm not going to be there to oversee, and I want you to have your own agency.
That's right. It's teaching them this sense of independence.
Yes.
And choice.
Yes.
Now, obviously, when they're a lot younger, I remember Adam loved chicken.
Okay.
We were trying to diversify his meals, and we would call everything chicken.
Yeah.
And so obviously you would do those like things when they're young, but eventually
it's green, it's still chicken.
eventually when they get a lot smarter, you got to be like, they know it's no longer chicken.
Yeah.
So choice is a really important thing for parents.
Yes.
I think Dr. Becky Kennedy's she's written a great book around good inside.
Good inside, yeah.
And giving that sense of not only choices, but good choices, and
Right.
values-driven choices that you can kind of teach people.
Right.
And then and then how to relate that to leadership. How do you let go of your ego too? So that when you groomed and coached someone, at what point, just like raising children, do you start to realize that you used to create the guardrails for choices?
Yeah.
But so much now is brainstorming with them, and I sometimes will do this in a meeting where I'll do is just listen and just say, what's bothering you? Let's write down all the things. How are you thinking about solutions around that?
Right.
So you start to change the dynamic of coaching. Instead of creating the choices,
Yes.
you're teaching them to think in those terms.
Yep.
And then teaching them the skills on how to make decisions around that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a switch.
That's a life skill right there.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is like a switch to rubrics.
Yes.
Right.
Wow. And I mean, there's really no bar in age. You can teach this
Yes.
to young kids too.
Another tip I give is as those choices happen and they start to realize mutual respect. I remember my kids were in college, and I had this rule that if they expected me to text them back right away, and if I texted them, we had this rule that I will text them the same amount of time in their response time as their response time to me.
Oh my gosh, that is great. Oh,
So
I'm definitely using that because they take us for granted sometimes.
They start to realize, wait, mutual respect.
Yeah.
Yes. And I always
Yes.
said to them, if it's urgent and you really need mom's help,
Right.
guess what? If mom's reaching out, there's a reason.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So give me that. We're all afforded that.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. I love it. And now tell us about your latest venture, Ohai.ai. Oh, it's so catchy.
Yeah, that's a
Love
greeting.
it. Yes.
Ohai. My son went to Thatcher in Ohai, California with a J.
Oh, yes.
And I wasn't actually started to realize that, wait, why did I come up with this brand? And it was a made up word, OHAI.
Okay.
And felt like an international greeting.
It does. It does.
And the assistant says, "Oh, hi there," every morning. And the assistant's name is O.
Yep.
In fact, we have this cool ad now that goes, oh. It's like,
Oh, that's so
it's
fun.
Great. It's so fun.
Yeah.
So building a fun brand, an inspirational brand. So the assistant says every morning, "Oh, hi there. How can I help you today? What can I take off your plate?" It's a virtual assistant that is really focused around saving parents and families time. Actually,
Yes.
all individuals.
Right.
The idea is a personal
Millennials love it
assistant
too,
for
or
all.
Gen
We have
Zers love it too.
college students
Yes.
who use it. We have high school students manage their college application process. So it's really for everybody, and we're making it accessible and affordable to have a personal assistant.
Yes.
It helps with coordination, scheduling, conflicts on your schedule, email scanning, sending you reminders, summarizes your to-do list, and tells you, okay, you've done this much, now you need to gotta get to this. So it's an all-around service that just really lightens the load, especially the cognitive load. I know we've been talking a lot about that. But it was mirroring my own journey. After care.com, my kids were all grown. My parents were in great care with my siblings. I started to realize, what's the thing that's taxing?
Right.
Personally for me, I wasn't looking to use AI to solve a problem, to be honest. Except that when I saw the technology, Kanika, the solution was right in front of me.
It's an epidemic, yes.
The tech is here and now with AI. This can really solve it for families. So we're just excited to be building it.
I love that you're at the helm because you just have your finger on the pulse of all things that are now here and now and relevant, and the fact that AI is very much like it's buzzy, it's what we're focused on, but it's rooted in problem solving, and you're using your expertise and your skills and your experience to infuse into this space. It's amazing.
So the thing that I've learned, kind of like I'm 54 and I'm in AI, working with a lot of young 20-year-olds, is to have the curiosity, have that, what I call the beginner's mind, for that, and have a sense that you can learn from everyone at any age. You can
I'm
learn
with
from
you.
a toddler to, you can learn all the way to an elderly person. And that is important, to not only learn from people around listening and really listening to the problems that they're facing in life and understanding it, that you're not the only person suffering. There are things to solve for everybody. And really listening. And then on the solutions, back to Serva, back to freeing up your mind, that you can't do it all yourself. Right?
Yes.
But if you free up your mind, come back to your heart, serve others, it also frees you up to ask for help.
Yes.
That you don't do it alone. You're building something with a great team, which we're doing.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
To serve others.
To serve others, 100%. I mean, Ohai reminded me of, you need to pack this for the interview.
Yes.
I got my rundown this morning as a text message, and it was wonderful.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it coordinates with my assistant Anne, so I'm able to actually tell the personal assistant. And most families struggle with that.
Yeah.
They want to be able to be respectful of their assistants at work, and they're not able to ask their assistants at work for help at home.
Yes. Yes.
But we need help at home.
We do.
The cognitive load. So moms spend on average close to an additional 5 hours. 4.6, I think, is the right number. 4.6 hours per day on administrative tasks.
Oh.
Dads spend about 2.8.
Wow.
So there's still that gap.
Yes.
If we're just going to save 1 hour of a productivity gain per day on women, we estimate about $1 trillion per year.
Wow.
That's like the size of 2 countries on average.
Yes.
So, whether it was care.com making care an economic imperative, we always say care is the work that makes all work possible, or describing the importance of Ohai to free up cognitive load so that we can be more productive in life. Everything that I'm doing is about solving problems.
Yes. Yes. Wow. And can we double click on the childcare crisis?
Yes.
Because that's something that you're very passionate about and involved in. I want to share some stats.
Okay.
So Self.Inc. estimated the average cost of childcare to be $18,886.
Yeah.
With Connecticut having the highest average at $27,125. Elder care is astronomically expensive. A semi-private room in a nursing home can rack up to $95K. And with families who are living paycheck to paycheck.
That's right.
What are you supposed to do?
Well, I think the government can do a lot. We've seen how certain countries around the world, Denmark, Sweden, the Scandinavian countries, are so much more advanced in trying to find ways and solutions for the government to actually lean in and help.
Right.
I think we have a culture here in the United States that somehow care is too personal and you're on your own.
Yeah.
When in reality, as I said, care is an economic imperative. You invest more in care, you unlock so much economic potential for families.
Yes.
Right? And the burden should not only be on women.
Right.
I think
women of color.
And women of color. I think we're the only country, along with
Papua New Guinea. Yes.
We don't have paid leave, and I love what Reshma Sujani is doing after Girls Who Code.
Reshma, we love you.
Yes, we do. That she's now doing paid leave and really fighting it.
With Moms First.
With Moms First. And paidleave.ai.
Yes.
And really realizing that if we just unlock helping families, helping women, helping moms, we can unlock so much productivity gain.
Yes, the output increases. It's exponential. I mean, when you think about, I tell myself this often, that as we're child rearing, we are building the foundation of society.
Yes, we are.
With these children.
Yes,
they're going to be the change makers and the leaders of tomorrow.
That's right.
And how can we not invest in that?
And if you're stressed out, high cognitive load impacts children's nutrition and your own nutrition, right? You're just overloaded.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a difficult thing to raise children in the right good inside sense of values, what we're looking for, to be the best we can.
Because we're too depleted.
And how can we do that? So it impacts the next generation.
Yes.
We can be better parents with tools like care.com and Ohai. And you know what, there's this thing that we say in Ohai, AI is freed up and unlock the ability to hey, you can use Midjourney and these other tools to create things. We believe that we're using Ohai not to actually do more, that you can be more.
Yes.
So that, why not use AI so that you free up your time so that you can create and draw and do art and do all the things that we want to do as human beings.
Yes, engage in play.
with a sense of fulfillment and joy.
Wow. Do you have any parting thoughts to share with our audience? I feel like there were so many gems covered in this very beautiful, intimate chat of ours.
So often in my journey, people often ask me, like, if you could just, summarize it in words around what you try and think about every day. There's 2 words that come to mind, and it's really, I call it authentic boldness. The reason I use those 2 words and important in my life is the journey of authenticity there's a lot in there. It's a sense of investing in your own self-awareness. It's a sense of truly opening up yourself and transparency in your life of that I am enough, I have enough, and I can just be me. That's hard because you're throwing yourself into such vulnerability.
Yeah.
That we're comfortable with it, but yet you really unlock so much time and energy and inefficiency in your life. You don't need to pre-meet to do a meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need to worry about what you're saying.
Right.
Because it's true privately or publicly.
Yes.
So, and you try and live your life in a way that it's just true to who you are.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a constant thing that I'm trying to do as a leader, how I run my companies, how I treat my children, have a transparent life with them, and open up with them. And then boldness. Boldness is a hard one. Boldness suggests that confidence comes from an ego-driven way. I actually think it's harder to be bold when you're vulnerable. So they kind of are really tied together.
Yes, you're too in your head.
It's too much. Yeah. And boldness also gives you the permission to take risk in life. Like the special Lionsgate moment.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
That this is the moment to ask yourself on the special day, like, where can I be bold? What kinds of things do I want to manifest in life that's really going to fill my heart and my soul and what matters to me?
Yes. Well, you're this lioness. I feel that. I feel that from you. Can you lead us through a meditation or affirmations as we close out? Something that you practice daily, and I respect and admire that.
Okay, so we're going to all close our eyes. Just settle down. And if you can think of a light in your head, just follow that light first. And I want to follow that light to your heart. Okay, we'll start there, and we're going to do some breath work. We're going to take a breath in. I'm going to do a simple one. You can take a breath in for 4 counts. We're going to hold for 7, and then we're going to release for 8. I'm going to do a shortcut meditation that I do every day. Okay, and then when we do that, we're going to think about this light in our heart. I took the light from my head and I brought it down to my heart. Now we're going to do the 4, 7, 8. We're going to breathe in 4. Hold for 7. And out for 8. We're going to do that 3 more times. And I want the light in your heart. I'm going to let you count it on your own.
Yeah.
I always find meditation has this sense of calm. And one of the things I've learned is the power of breath and concentrating on your breath, but you also, how do you bring yourself to your heart?
Yeah.
And trust that.
Yes.
Trust that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Because this is where our thoughts and all the entropy is. And this is where the calm and the peace and the trust.
And the trust.
Yeah, is.
And then the other important thing of why your heart is, it allows you to connect with people. Because you're leaving your brain and connecting your heart, and it actually appears, people see it in your eyes when you're connected, present, and in the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for connecting with us.
Thank you for
And it
having
was
me.
a joy, just a delight to see Sheila in her element
having me.
today. Thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of That's Total Mom Sense. You can listen to the audio version wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for That's Total Mom Sense. You can learn more about my guests by logging on to www.thatstotalmomsense.com. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, where I'm most active on social media. My handle is @Kanika And if you have ideas for show topics or guests you can't wait to have on the show, write to me at thatstotalmomsense@gmail.com. And lastly, please rate, review, and subscribe to That's Total Mom Sense if you haven't already. Thanks for being in my tribe.